Welcome to the deep dive. Okay, let's jump right in. Today, we're really unpacking a fascinating and quite poignant case study from your sources. It's a story that weaves together personal struggles, family history, and some pretty deep spiritual insights. We're focusing on the life story of a teacher from Udon Thani, specifically your uncle, shared through a personal account. And it really reveals some profound lessons about karma, choices, and, their long-lasting effects. We'll also touch on bigger themes like how our environment shapes us and the real power of our intentions. So our mission today is to pull out those key insights, connect the dots between things that might seem unrelated, and help you understand the huge implications of individual actions, not just for one life, but, well, beyond. Okay, so let's start with the story of your uncle. Your sources paint a picture of him being genuinely good-natured, very well-behaved, right, from childhood. And he became a primary school teacher, which was something of a family tradition, right? Lots of relatives were teachers. So he really embodied that role. He married another teacher, and after about 3 years, they had their first child. It sounds, pretty straightforward, a stable beginning. But then things took a turn, a really big turn. The breakdown of his first marriage. The sources mention he developed this unusual paranoia, believing his wife was having an affair. And what's interesting is his wife was described as like strong-willed a leader type.
Yeah.
And somehow that made him fearful of her, which seems unexpected.
Right.
His reaction was extreme. He actually fled his home,
Yeah.
moved his job and house to a whole different province, cut off all contact with his family, and that led to their separation, obviously.
What's really striking there, I think, is just how fast his personality seemed to flip. It's like 1 minute he's one person, the next something completely different. And that sudden, intense fear, the whole drastic change in behavior, even then, it kind of hints that there might be deeper things going on, underlying causes.
Right.
Which, yeah, as we get into the karmic view, start to make a bit more sense.
And this is where the story gets, well, really dramatic and frankly, quite sad. After he became single again, his life just completely changed direction. He dived headfirst into nightlife, became what the sources call an expert drinker, hanging out in night spots, using drugs, being promiscuous. The contrast is just stark, isn't it? By day, he's this respected teacher, a pillar of the nation. But come evening, he's the lion of the night. Dancing, singing, apparently just like any other regular, completely different person.
No trace of the daytime self.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And this led to a second marriage, but it was sort of forced on him because of family concerns about the partner's reputation.
Yes.
And tragically, he did the same thing again, abandoned her after just 6 months, left his second wife too.
Yes, and the sources say after that second split, his lion's blood seemed to surge even more. He started spending lavishly, described as generous, buying rounds of drinks for his new crowd, these drinking experts.
Right.
And it was around this time he had a significant personal realization that he actually preferred men, not women.
Oh, okay.
So this led to him bringing young male students home, paying for their education, and having these loud karaoke and drinking parties with his gay friends at his house.
And his justification for all this.
Well, the sources mentioned he called it personal happiness, said he paid for his own drinks, even helped relatives financially sometimes.
That's a common argument, isn't it?
It is, yeah. People often use that kind of reasoning when drinking heavily, but here's the really profound paradox. Despite this kind of destructive personal life, he was still incredibly good at his job.
Still an excellent teacher.
Absolutely. Capable of training students to win competitions, science, sports, scholarships against other schools. Highly effective.
Wow.
But, as the sources put it so well, when alcohol entered him, he became a different person.
And this destructive path, it led to a really tragic end. January 31st, 2001, 2 a.m., the family gets that devastating call. He's severely injured. The cause: driving his motorcycle home after drinking heavily, simple as that. Suffered severe brain trauma, fractured skull, brain swelling. Ended up in ICU.
Just awful.
He went through multiple brain surgeries, spent a month in ICU, but he passed away on April 2nd, 2001. Only 54 years old.
So young.
And the family was left with this huge financial burden, paying all the medical bills. Well, and the sources point this out, the alcohol companies, the sellers, no responsibility.
Come on.
So this individual case where alcohol was clearly the direct cause, it makes you think about personal responsibility, absolutely. But expert, you mentioned the sources also touch on wider issues, like the Sangha, the monastic community, and even the media's role.
They absolutely do, yeah. And that's a really important thread we need to pull on later. But first, let's try and connect his story to the the deeper karmic picture your source is present. What's really laid out here is that his downfall wasn't just random bad luck, it was the result of actions across lifetimes.
Okay.
The immediate trigger for the drinking, the personality shift, the death itself, it's linked directly to associating with bad company.
Right, the cow confane you mentioned.
Exactly, Kalkonfin. And crucially, not just in this life, but in past lives, too. That association is what led him down this path.
And his fate immediately after death. The sources are specific, aren't they?
Very specific and quite sobering. He went immediately to the fifth great hell, Mahanarak Kum 5. That's a specific realm for certain types of negative karma.
And what happens there?
He's currently being force-fed hot black acid by the Nereabal, the Hell Guardians.
Oh.
The suffering is described as immense, and because it's constant, he has no time to receive merit that his family sends.
So any good deeds they do for him.
That merit waits for him in Yamalok, which is like a realm of the departed, but he can't access it or benefit from it while he's in that state of constant torment in the great hell.
That really reframes things, doesn't it?
It does. It presents this stark contrast. A few short years of what he called pleasure on Earth versus potentially millions, even billions of years of suffering. It forces a reevaluation of what worthwhile really means.
It certainly does. And that connects to his relationships too, right? His preference for men, abandoning 2 wives and a child, apparently without much feeling.
Yes, that's tied to a specific type of karma called karmagami in the sources. It relates to being charming but promiscuous or unfaithful in past lives. And according to the sources, after his time in the fifth great hell for the drinking karma, he'll then proceed to the third great hell, Mahanarakum 3, to face the consequences of this Gami karma. And that's also for a very long time. And this actually helps explain that strange fear he had of his first wife. Remember her being described as fierce and dominant?
Yeah, that seemed odd.
Well, the sources reveal he was actually married to both his first and second wives in previous lives.
Both of them, wow.
Yes. And in those past lives, when he was, let's say, a normal man, he had cheated on them. That's the Jektan or cheating karma.
Oh, okay, so that past cheating.
Initially, it might have just manifested as standard infidelity. But as the karma ripened, became stronger in this lifetime, it twisted into this abnormal behavior, preferring men and abandoning the wives in a completely different, perhaps even more profound way.
So past actions created this ripple effect.
Exactly. It shows how things we did, maybe even in what seemed like a normal context way back when, can dramatically shape our character, our fears, our relationships, our whole destiny lifetimes later. It's not always a direct, obvious link.
And you mentioned the Sangha's role earlier.
Yes, the sources emphasize how crucial the monastic community is in educating people about dangers like alcohol, drawing on the Buddha's wisdom. And that connects back to the idea of media responsibility too, which the sources say often gets ignored.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. From that really heavy story, the sources bring us to a different part of your family history, focusing on your mother. It sounds like a much more positive story.
Yes, quite different.
Your mother lived a very virtuous life, it seems. Daily almsgiving, keeping the 5 precepts, meditating at the temple, teaching prayers to her grandchildren. And she had a peaceful death from asthma in her husband's arms, who cared for her right to the end. And during her life, she had a connection with a particular monk, didn't she? From a forest temple in Udon Thani. He was known for incredibly accurate fortune-telling. By looking into a bowl of water, he could see lost things, lost people, future events.
Yes, quite renowned for it.
And the most amazing part is he apparently predicted his own future, that he'd only be a monk until age 40, then he'd meet a soulmate, disrobe, and marry her. And it happened exactly like that.
It did, yes. The prediction came true. Now, how he did that, the source of those abilities, is really interesting. He used water gazing in a bowl to see images. But importantly, the sources say he often had a Vidyadhara teacher guiding him.
The Vijayasara. What's that?
It refers to a kind of mystic or a wisdom holder, often believed to possess certain heightened abilities or knowledge.
Okay.
And his past lives were key. He'd practiced astrology, fortune-telling, stargazing, and a type of meditation called Kasil meditation. This built up a sort of cross-generational habit that just surfaced again in this life.
So it wasn't just random talent.
Not at all. Plus, whenever he did good deeds, he apparently made specific prayers, asking for the ability to predict things accurately.
And was he always right?
Mostly, according to the sources. His accuracy was better when his old merit was strong, supporting the ability. When that merit was lower, he might be less accurate. It shows this interplay between past actions, present practice, and the results you get.
That's fascinating, merit influencing even psychic abilities. It brings up that big question, though. Fate versus choice. The monk predicted he'd disrobe at 40. Did he have to?
That's a great question, and the sources suggest no, he could have chosen differently.
So it wasn't set in stone.
It seems not. His decision to disrobe wasn't some unavoidable destiny. It's described more as being self-scripted or self-determined.
How so?
Through his own powerful intention and expectation that he would meet his soulmate at that age. The sources actually call this a type of Vidyatara skill, suggesting his focused mind and intention essentially created that reality for him.
Wow. So our own beliefs can literally shape our path.
In some cases, especially with that kind of focused practice, yes. It's a powerful idea about how much agency we might have. And just to clarify his connection to your family, the sources are clear there was no past karmic link between the monk and your mother or the family.
Ah, okay. So their connection was just in this lifetime.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Based on mutual benefit in the present, she respected him, he perhaps offered guidance, that sort of thing. Also, importantly, the monk's prediction about your mother's rebirth needs correcting.
Oh, what did he predict? And what actually happened?
Well, the sources don't specify his prediction, but they state clearly where she actually went. She was reborn as a diva, a goddess.
A goddess.
Yes, with a golden mansion in the third heaven, Tavatisa, specifically in an area called Taodom Phase 3.
Goodness. So she's
She's currently enjoying divine pleasures, admiring her celestial home, all thanks to her consistent merit-making, her charity, keeping precepts.
so definitely not reborn as my granddaughter, then.
Definitely not. She achieved a very high heavenly rebirth based on her own virtuous life.
Okay, that's amazing. And it leads us perfectly to your granddaughter. The one you affectionately said seemed too good. Maybe your mother reborn.
Right.
So she's not your mother. Who is she, according to the sources?
Her soul is one that has built merit with the community, the mukana, over immense periods of time past Buddha intervals or Buddha Sandorm.
Buddha interval. That sounds like a long time.
Incredibly long, spanning the eras of multiple Buddhas. In a significant past life, she was actually a male royal page.
A royal page.
Yes, who then followed the king he served into becoming a monk. He practiced the Dharma diligently, achieved inner clarity, and spent his life spreading the teachings.
So why is she female now?
That's attributed to some residual charming and promiscuous karmagami again from other past lives. It's just a remaining trace affecting her form.
But her core qualities.
Her inherent leadership and intelligence, those come directly from her past experience as an excellent Dharma spreader.
I see. And her current life. Born in Udon, near the temple, involved in temple life as a student.
Yes, with no specific negative karma highlighted. She's essentially just continuing on her path, building on the vast good deeds from her past. So she's not too good in a worrying way. She's just naturally inclined towards goodness and wisdom because of who she's been. And thinking about past, let's look at your family's long connection to teaching. That lineage passed down through recommendation and example.
Yes, it's quite strong in the family.
The sources attach profound significance to this profession. They describe it as a path of the bodhisattva.
A bodhisattva path. Wow.
Yes, because it's fundamentally about removing ignorance from the heart of others. It aligns directly with the lineage of the Lord Buddha himself, who is the ultimate great teacher.
That's a beautiful way to see it.
It is. The sources say you should feel real pride in being part of such a noble tradition.
And what about my immediate family, myself, my husband, other relatives? Do the sources offer specific guidance for us?
They do. They say your group has also built merit with the community, the mukana, primarily in the role of supply troops or gong sabian.
Supply troops. What does that mean?
It generally means those who support the main effort, providing resources, facilitating things for others who might be more on the front lines of spiritual practice or teaching. It's a vital supportive role.
Okay.
However, the nature of your merit making in the past was often done as they felt like it, tamarome, meaning sometimes very dedicated, sometimes maybe less consistent, more based on mood or opportunity.
Right, that sounds familiar.
So the clear advice, the call to action for this life is intend to build merit fully in every good deed.
Every single one.
Yes. Through charity, keeping precepts consistently, meditation, don't let opportunities slip by. Be consciously dedicated.
And make specific aspirations.
Crucially, yes. Aspire specifically to be reborn in Dusit Buriwangbun Pisit Ket Borum Bodhisattva.
That's a specific place.
It's understood as a special heavenly realm associated with bodhisattvas, particularly those connected to the mukana or community you've been part of, a place to continue developing towards enlightenment. Now, if we connect all these individual stories and family paths back to that broader societal level we touched on, especially media.
Right, the SUE.
Yes. The sources use this powerful analogy. Media should be like the sky, the sea, or the land.
Meaning?
Neutral, vast, a refuge. Providing a foundation or a pathway for everyone, its vital functions should be to offer justice, love, encouragement, and good advice, especially when people feel lost.
And wisdom.
Absolutely. Offering wisdom about life's truths to help people navigate challenges and avoid mistakes. And a key point, media must be independent, financially independent, independent in thought, and crucially, free from the influence of intoxicants like alcohol, cigarettes, and drugs.
That's a high bar.
It is. But media that upholds these principles would be, as the sources say, a bodhisattva media, a diamond media, a crystal clear media.
Because its influence is so huge.
Exactly. It stands at a crossroads between heavenly and hellish realms. It has the power to clarify people's minds, leading them towards better understanding and rebirths, or to cloud their minds, leading them towards confusion and lower realms.
Like the sky for the stars or the land for the trees.
It should be a refuge, a foundation for humanity's well-being.
That really brings it all together, doesn't it? From the intensely personal story of your uncle to family karma to these big societal responsibilities, this deep dive has really highlighted how our individual choices, like your uncle's decisions around alcohol and company, have these massive ripple effects. Across lifetimes, yes, but also within society. We've seen the power of karma, the absolute importance of choosing our environment and friends wisely, the impact of our own intentions, like with the monk, and ultimately, the responsibility each of us has, not just for our own path, but for how we contribute to the world around us. So what does this all mean for you listening?
I think it underscores that every action, every choice really does matter immensely. It shapes this life, future lives, and it affects everyone else too, in ways we might not even realize.
And that leaves us with a really important question to ponder, doesn't it? If even our seemingly small choices or fleeting intentions can echo across time and touch so many lives. Just think about the immense power, the often untapped potential we hold in our hands every single day. What power do we truly have to consciously sculpt a better future, not just for ourselves, but maybe, just maybe, for all of humanity?